Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā. Bhagavati uttamashloke bhaktir bhavati neshtaki. Aradhayo Bhagavan Vrajeshatanayas tadhama vrindavanam. Ramya kachitupasana vrajavadho vargena va kalpita. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam pramanamamalam prema pumartho mahan. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu matamidam tatradharana para. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. Jai Śrī Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for joining. Baldev Prabhu, Philip Prabhu, Vijaya Mataji, Shrama Mataji, and Kashish Mataji, thank you so much for taking out your valuable time to read here Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam together. And we are reading Canto 10 of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Chapter 22, entitled Krishna Steals Gopis' Garments. We have read till text number 12 yesterday. And just to give a brief synopsis, we were talking about how Krishna asked the gopis to come one by one and take their respective clothes. And he was also joking. From when did the tree started? Like when Krishna, was laughing, Krishna was on the tree and Krishna started to laugh to get the attention of the gopis, because gopis had no idea, or the Gopa Kumaris had no idea that this has happened. And Krishna and his friends started to laugh, because when someone is laughing loudly, then the attention will go there. So then Krishna say, hey, I thought that the trees have fruits and flowers on them. I didn't know, since these trees, especially this Kadamba tree, is having clothes as fruits and flowers. Because he hung the clothes on the Kadamba tree, and they were appearing as if they're coming from the tree, right? Like fruits and flowers come from the trees. So Krishna is making, joking and multiple times he said, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. By the way, I'm not lying. And the gopis say, what if you don't give? And Krishna especially says here, you are like tapasvinis. You are doing vrata. So sometimes, like a person may say, well, generally I would say things, not so, which are not so true, but you're a devotee. Prabhu, I'm not lying to you. You are a sincere soul. I'm not lying to you. I'm very honest, right? Because you're a devotee. I don't want to get any reactions by telling false statement to devotees. So you are tapasvinis. Krishna is saying, you have done a lot of tapasya, for last 1 month. So even if I lie, but I won't lie to you. So Krishna is telling that also here. Therefore, he's multiple times telling, hey, I'm not lying. If you come, I will give you the clothes, but one by one, because I do not want one to come and take everyone's clothes, and then I have to, like, what about others, right? One may just steal everyone's clothes. I don't want anyone to steal, your clothes. So I've been protecting them very nicely. So in this way, Krishna is having a joking laughter. And that's what the gopis wanted. Very, very important. We have discussed that a few times. And then they are saying, hey, because they're shy, hey, you go ahead and you go. Someone's saying, okay, you go first. Someone's saying, you go first. and then we will see. And then Krishna is also saying that, well, if you do not trust me, if one of you comes, right, and I do not give, then you can test it that others don't need to come, right? The simple logic. If I do not give to one person, then others need not come. But again, I am not lying. You come, swam vasam, right? Swam vasa pragrityatam satyam bruvami no narma. So this all we have covered, and we also discussed some connection, what is real love, and the selfless love of the gopis towards Krishna. So this we have all covered, but I wanted to give a brief background and some additional details for the things I was hearing today from His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj. We will move on to the next verse, text number 13, chapter 22. Evam bruvati govinde narmakshapita chetasaha akantha magna shitode vipamanastam abruvan. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace Abhijit Narvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrī Prabhupada. Śrī Prabhupada ki jai, Śrī Prabhupada disciples ki jai. As Śrī Govinda spoke to the gopis in this way, his joking words completely captivated their minds. Submerged up to their necks in the cold water, they began to shiver. Thus, they addressed him as follows. Śrī Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives the following example of joking between Krishna and the gopis. Krishna, there's a conversation here. Krishna is saying, "Oh, bird-like girls, if you do not come here, then with these garments caught in the branches, I will make a swing and a hammock. I need to lie down, since I have spent the entire night awake and now I am becoming sleepy." Gopis, "Oh dear cowherd boy, your cows, greedy for grass, have gone into a cave, so you must quickly go there to herd them back on the proper path." Krishna, "Come now, my dear cowherd girls, you must quickly go from here to Raja and perform your household duties. Don't become a disturbance to your parents and other elders." Gopis, our dear Krishna, we will not go home for an entire month, for it is by the order of our parents and other elders that we are executing the vow of fasting, the Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Krishna, my dear austere ladies, I too, by the strength of seeing you, have now developed a surprising mood of detachment from my family. I wish to stay here for a month and execute the vow of dwelling in the clouds. And if you show mercy to me, I can come down from here and observe the vow of fasting in your company. The gopis were completely captivated by Krishna's joking words, but out of shyness, they submerged themselves in the water up to their necks. Shaking from the cold, they addressed Krishna as follows. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So some of you joined this chapter in the middle, which is absolutely fine. But I would encourage that we have covered a lot of context and background. It is important to understand the right context. Otherwise, sometimes if we hear like part of the story, we may not get the full context. So we have been reading this chapter for the last few days. So this is text 13 we are starting today. So Krishna and gopis, Gopakumaris again, who are very little girls around 4 or 5 years old, and they're doing this austere vrata. And now there's a joking conversation, especially Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur here, And it is mentioned that their body is shivering, right? Their body is shivering because they're inside the cold. It's cold water, right? It's the November, December time. So it is called Hemantakali. The month is almost ended. They started this at the beginning of the Hemantakal. Now it's almost like the end of December, approximately, or just before the Magh Mas. So around, it could be early January or end of December in Vrindavan. Pretty cold. It's pretty cold there at that time, end of December, because the whole month has also passed. And they are in the water, right? Recently, I had gone to Ganga, Haridwar. Even in that time, it was, which month? It was March, February, end of February. Very cold. One cannot be in the water for more than 5 minutes. It's so cold, very cold. And these are young gopis, and children have, even less, like adults have more resilience to harsh weather, etc. But children have less resilience to, and if it's too hot or too cold, they will feel it even harder. But here they are, so it's mentioned that they were vepamana, they were shivering. But the acharyas also mentioned that actually they were not shivering because of the cold. They were used to bathing early morning in the cold water for last 1 month. They were actually shivering. It is the Ashtasattvic Vikar. One of the Ashtasattvic Vikar out of pure, unalloyed, transcendental love is kampan. Romancha kampa shrutaranga bhajo vande guru shri charanaravindam. Kampan is also shivering. So one of the Ashtasattvic Vikar. So they are shivering because of the pure love of Krishna. There, imagine if Krishna comes in front of us, right? We will, I don't know what emotion we'll have, right? What to speak of Krishna coming? Even some great sage comes, great sadhus come. We are, it's a different feeling. It is sometimes, we may not know how to properly react, and there could be a shivering or some different emotions we may go through. Of course, not to compare, but just to give some context. It's important to because so that we can link at least a tiny iota of that. So they are shivering, and Govinda, Lord Govinda, Krishna said, so here, the word used for Krishna is Govinda. Govinda means one who takes care of cows and one who takes care of the senses. Go also means senses. So at different times, different words are used to address Krishna. Here the word used is Govinda. Evam bruvati Govinde. By his joking words. So here we see the conversation Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is mentioning also. That also is seen that Krishna is joking that if you do not come, then I'll make a swing out of these clothes. That's so interesting. And then I'll just make a hammock and just lie down casually. Okay, nice kadamba tree, and I'll use your clothes and make a swing, and I'm feeling sleepy, and I have been up entire night, so it's a good time to take a nap. And the gopis are saying, hey, why don't you go to herd your cows? Your cows are greedy for grass. Go take care of them. And then Krishna says, well, if you do not come, then your parents will be disturbed. They'll say, where are our children? Right? Then the gopis say, no, we have told that we have come for Caitanya-caritāmṛta. We can stay here for the whole month. Oh, is it? Then I think I should also join the Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So let me come down and I'll accompany all of you and we'll do Caitanya-caritāmṛta together. So like that, there is a big like joking ceremony going on. So it's a laughter. And let's see what the gopis spoke. Anything before we move to the next verse? Anyone wants to add? Okay, let's see if anyone would like to read who didn't get chance yesterday or day before and you would like to read. Text number 14. Anyone?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, Mata, please.
Hare Krishna. Manayam boho kruthastvam tu nanda gopa sutam priyam jani moanga vraja shlagyam dehi vansansi vepitaha. Translation. The gopi said, Dear Krishna, don't be unfair. We know that you are the respectable son of Nanda and that you are honored by everyone in Vraja. You are also very dear to us. Please give us back our clothes. We are shivering in the cold water.
Thank you, Vijaya Mataji, for reading this nice verse. So, Krishna is the son of Nanda Maharaj, Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi, right? We have discussed that. Everyone knows, they also know, Krishna also knows, everyone in the Vraja knows that. So certainly he is very respectable because, again, son of the king, very respectable. And a respectable person, and these gopis were ordinary gopis, to take someone's clothes, and that too, it's not like new clothes. They're used clothes, they're old clothes. To take that for a respectable person does not make sense. And that too of the other gender, right? It does not make sense at all. So that is absolutely correct. And it is certainly, if someone kind of does this in the outside world, that person will be and should be punished, correct? If someone steals the opposite gender's clothes, if a male steals female's clothes, especially when it is not appropriate to steal, then they should be and will be punished by the government or depending upon the severity of the crime. But here we see this is not the stealing. We have discussed that many, many times. This is not the ordinary stealing. This is Krishna is the supreme proprietor, supreme master, supreme controller. He is the son of Nanda Maharaj. So he does not need that. He's not looking to get the clothes. He is not come there to get the clothes. He has come there again and again, we are emphasizing, to fulfill the desire of the Gopa Kumaris. Because that's what they prayed, right? Shukdev Goswami is mentioning that that's what they were praying. That may the child of Nanda Maharaj be our husband. And this is in any story, right? Even if we connect to a mundane, let's say, movie. If there is simply, if there's a main hero and the main heroine, actor, actress, and then the movie begins and suddenly they get married and they are living happily, they're living happy ever after. Now, that's not, a good movie, right? No one will watch it, probably. But until there is some suspense, until there is some humor, until there is some maybe a bad guy comes and tries to kind of there's some action, so different flavors depend. So here actually Bhagavatam is full of all that. There is fighting. Of course, so many demons Krishna killed. There is action, right? There is suspense, right? Krishna eating dirt, Krishna in the grips of Kaliya. So many suspense, right? Mata Yashoda is practically fainting every time. Here there is more like Madhurya Rasa humor. This is the humor of Madhurya Rasa, which there is other humor of friendship, right? Friends like Krishna joking with this Gwalbal, but here Krishna is joking with his Gopakumaris. So there is different level of humor. This is also humor. This is all joke, and but in the Madhurya Rasa. And that adds to the rasa. Anything we see in this world exists because there is pure form of that. In this world we see lust, but the pure form of that is love. And we have discussed what that really means is unalloyed, eternal, loving, spontaneous, selfless devotional service. So again, gopis are requesting, this does not suit you, oh, the respectable son. You know, it is said sometimes, Maharaj was mentioning that in Hindi, they say, or in actually Rajniti, or the rules for ruling kingdom, etc., there is this thing called Sama, Dama, Danda, Bheda. They try to, if something needs to be done, then we should first try to get it done in a very peaceful way. Like, if it can be done in a very peaceful and in congenial way without going to the next step, then it's best. So here, the gopis are actually using that. They're so intelligent. They're saying, oh, Krishna, you are a very respectable person. You belong to a great heritage. You are the son. You're the respectable. I'm giving respect here. Sama. Sama means pleasing words. With very pleasing tone, they are saying, hey, this does not suit you. You are so great. You are all these are. I mean, these are nothing precious there. Old clothes, and that too of. You can't even use them, right? What will you do with them? They are not, they're not going to, you can't use them. They are gopis' clothes. So this does not suit you. And anyways, you are the son of the king. You don't need to be like doing this. So they're using pleasing words or reminding him of his father. Please do not, trouble us. Give our clothes back because we are shivering, right? They're pleading, right? To somehow Krishna should return their clothes. Let's see if he does that. Krishna is hard nut to crack. Especially, let's see. Who wants to read text 15? Yes. Baldev Prabhu.
Arjun devotees, Pranam, all goes to Śrīla Prabhupada. Text 15. Shamasundara dasya karo vamo taboditam dehi vasamshi dharmagna nochet agne bruvama he. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada, Śrīla Prabhupada and his disciples, Ki Joy. Translation: O Shamasundar, we are your maid servants and must do whatever you say, but give us back our clothing. You know what the religious principles are, and if you don't give us our clothes, we will have to tell the king. Please. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for reading this beautiful verse. You see, the gopis are using different words here. So earlier, one word used in the previous verses was Govinda, right? Now the word used is Shama Sundar. Krishna is dark complexion, Shama, but not, he's very, very Sundar. He's very, very beautiful, the most beautiful. O Shama Sundar, Te Dasya, we are your servant. We are your maidservant. Who's saying this? The gopis are saying it. We shall do what is spoken by you. That means we must do whatever you say. In short, the duty of a servant is to do what the master says. But they're again requesting. Dehi vasamsi. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya. Right, the famous shloka of Bhagavad Gita. As the old clothes, one happily, when the clothes are old, torn with holes, one happily, throws them, recycles them, whatever, and buys a new clothes. Similarly, the body, when it is old, the soul enters into a new body. So these are like, this body is like the clothing of the soul. And when the clothing or the body is getting old and worn out, the soul gets a fresh body or fresh pair of clothes. So that word vasamsi comes there also, very important word. So here they are saying, Dehi vasamsi, give us our clothing back. Oh, dharmagya, dharmagya. See, again, using very kind words. You are dharmagya. 7-year-old boy, what dharmagya, right? If he knew dharmagya, why will he come there, right? So the point is, it's all a very, funny and humorous dialogue. But the gopis are trying somehow, by hook or crook, we want the clothes back. Now they used pleasing words. Oh, you are the son of Nanda Maharaj. You are the son of the king. You are dharmagya. And we have seen this at multiple places. The person has used good words to somehow pacify and try to get things done. Can any one of you give an example where someone used kind words, like using the samadam, we're talking about sama, or kind words or pleasing words, to somehow get things done or pacify them or calm them down, or Yes, Shilpa Mataji, want to try?
Prabhuji, at the time of Kamsa, at the time of killing the baby, the 8th birth, mother Devaki. Yeah, she was pleasing. She was praising. The dharma. You learned a lot of Vedas, so it's not fair.
Very nice. Very nice. Nice context. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam. Prabhuji, is that the example when Hiranyakashipu took Prahlad Maharaj in his lap, and with fatherly love, he asked Prahlad Maharaj what he learned in his Gurukul? Is that something that can relate? Like, he was very nice to Prahlad Maharaj and tried to understand what he learned about in the Gurukul.
Yeah, he was very kind to Prahlad and got agitated by Prahlad's response. Although Prahlad was very kind and yes, nice. I was also thinking, when Kamsa, this celestial voice comes and the marriage of Vasudeva and Devaki is happen, Kamsa is driving the chariot, suddenly there's a celestial voice. And Kamsa, the mind changed and he grabbed the hairs of the Devaki and took a sword in the other hand and about to chop off her head. And at that time, in that time of like he's very agitated, he's about to take a serious action, right? And at that time, Vasudeva calms him down. And at that time, he uses very kind words. As Srila Mataji also mentioned, he used, is this fitting you? You are such noble king. You are so powerful. And she is just a abala. And that to her day of marriage. And that to a lady. And that to your sister. What will the history speak of you? Right? You are dharmagya. At that time also, you are the knower of religion. You know the codes. What action leads to what reaction. So here the gopis are telling, I mean, as we discussed, if someone does this activity, stealing other gender's clothes, and that too without their consent, without, in an inappropriate time, they must be punished. And they're saying, oh, you are dharmagya. So now they are using the next level, little bit dam and danda, right? If you do not give our clothes, guess what are we going to do? We are going to tell the king, that means your father. Right? That's like, how many times we have heard this, kids, when they get into some argument, they use that, hey, if you do not do this, I'm going to tell your father. I'm going to tell your mother about this, right? And they did that. The boys did that. Krishna, mridam bhakshitvan. Iti matra nyavedayan. Balram, and they did that. And mother took it very seriously. So if someone complains of the child, hey, their child is eating dirt. Hey, your child is having a big fight. Parents will take it seriously. Hey, your child is speaking bad language. Hey, your child is misbehaving. Parents do take it seriously. They really care about their children, right? So the gopis, Gopa Kumaris are saying, hey, if you don't give, guess what? We are going to tell, right, your father that you are doing all this mischief. It's again a transcendental dialogue. And they're using Sam, Dam, and Ved, all the somehow they are telling that you give our clothes back, right? Sam, Dam, Dan, use whatever, by hook or crook, we want the clothes back. That's what they're trying. That's what they really want. But actually, it's all this is giving them more time with Krishna. Like, I am reminded of the story of Lord Chaitanya and Kola, which is Sridhar, the banana seller. He would bargain with Lord Chaitanya in his childhood, bargain with this banana vendor. Hey, what's the price of this? He say, oh, this is like 2 paisa or whatever. I don't know the currency. This is like, this banana leaf is worth 2 paisa. 2 paisa? Oh my God, you are looting us. The other people are selling it for 1 paisa. Why are you like a thief? Why are you charging so high? And what about these bananas? What about this? And then Lord Chaitanya would bargain, right? Lord Chaitanya would bargain with Kola Sridhar for hours and hours, hours and hours. The idea was, this was their exchange of rasa. The idea was, this was their exchange of sweet. And he said, one day I will reveal how you're hiding, you are looting all of us, and you are hiding the wealth behind in your house, or you're hiding your wealth. One day I will reveal all your wealth. That's what that really meant. I will reveal your true bhakti, because that's your real wealth. Because he was a pure devotee. Kola Sridhar, he was charging very minimal, And whatever he would get, he had like nothing, torn clothes, he didn't have a proper water pot, and he didn't have any proper dwelling place or anything. He was just very humble, simple, somehow, selling bananas, not diamonds, right? It's not like he had a big banana showroom with 1,000 square feet of areas, and it was a small hand cart probably, and just few bananas, few leaves, and like carry in their hand or head. That was him. But Lord Chaitanya would bargain with him for hours and hours. And he said, I will reveal your true wealth one day. And he did. In the Mahaprakash Leela, he did reveal his true wealth. No one knew him. No one knew his name. He said, banana seller, kola vecha, banana seller. Like, if someone comes in India, like, fruit, vegetable vendor, we don't say, oh, sabji wala, sabji wala, or fruit seller has come. We don't know their name, right? We don't know. Or if someone other has, like a vegetable seller has come, we don't know their name. Most people don't know their name because they're very humble and simple. So the point here is that this conversation is the real rasa. This conversation is the real humorous Madhurya rasa also. Any other thoughts anyone has? Okay. So
I can read Guruji.
Yeah, Mataji, please.
Srila Prabhupada, text 16. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Bhavatya yadi medasya mayoktam bhakarisayatha atragatya swavasamsi pratichyata suchismitaha no chennaham pradasya kim kruddho raja kariswati. Translation and purport by the disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, if you girls are actually my maidservants, and if you will really do what I say, then come here with your innocent smiles and let each girl pick out her clothes. If you don't do what I say, I won't give them back to you. And even if the king becomes angry, what can he do? Purport. Srila Prabhupada comments, when the gopis saw that Krishna was strong and determined, they had no alternative but to abide by his order. So here, Krishna is tasting the love of the gopis. And the gopis actually gave everything to Krishna. And that's Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur's song, Manusha Deho Geho, Jo Kichu Mor, Or Pilu Tuapade, Nando Kishore. So that's the real Sharanagati by the gopis to Lord Krishna. And that's what he is testing, how much they love to Krishna, what they can do for Krishna. They can do anything for Krishna. And here Prabhupada says that Krishna is determined to, and he's strong. So gopis can't do anything. They are already surrendered to Krishna, and they already gave everything to Krishna. So that's my understanding, Prabhuji. Back to you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Few things to note here. In the previous verse, they said, Sham Sundar Te Dasya. Oh, Sham Sundar, we are your servants. We are your maidservants. Karvam Tavo Oditam. Whatever you say, we will do. Because servant means first class servant. What does it mean? There are 4 classes of servant, actually.
So first class does before the master says and they anticipate.
Your Viraj Binayak told you.
I was
Not,
about to ask the same, Prabhuji, student or servant, because in
yes.
class it's student.
You also told multiple times for the devotees classification.
Yes, because student and servant or disciple, they're all connected, right? It's all the same. Uttamaschintitam kuryat ruktakari tu madhyama adamo ashraddhaya kuryat akarto charitam pituhu. Uttama is who understands the mind and the heart of the teacher or the parent or the guru or the master and does it. First class. Second class, the guru says something and the disciple does it happily, joyfully, without reminder. That's also very good. Third class, does it ashraddhaya. Hi, mere ko kyun bol diya? Why he's telling me only? or among siblings, why is the father telling me? Why is not telling the brother? Why is not telling the sister to do so? They'll do after multiple reminders without faith, grudgingly, and next time they see, oh, the guru might tell something, they sneak out, right? Before the guru says something, I sneak out so that there's no chance, no eagerness to serve, right? That's third class. And those who have no intention to do, those who do not akartum ucharitam pitu, they're like stool of the guru or the father or the master. So here Krishna is saying, oh, you said you are my servant and you want to be my servant and you want to do, right? You want to do what you said, karvam tava oditam, whatever you say, we will do, correct? Then do it. Bhavato yadi, bhavatyo yadi, me dasyo. If you are my servants, if you are my servants, yes, that's what you told. Maya uktam va karishyatha. Then you must do what I'm saying. And I'm saying you, hey, come. I'm telling you like 6th time now. At least now you can be third. Already you didn't do in the first go, but now you do, right? I have repeated this point multiple times that now I'm telling you, atra means come here, agatya swa. Again, he's emphasizing, don't come all together. Swa vasamsi prati ichat. Shuchi smitaha, very, very important. Shuchi smitaha. Smitaha means smiling. Whenever we go to Krishna, we should always have a smile in our face and in our heart. Very, very important. Very, very important. We should go to Krishna smiling. We should not go to Krishna. We should not, therefore it is said, don't cry in the front of deity. This is an offense actually, right? In the temple, one should not cry. And or show any negative emotion like anger or crying or crying out of love and happiness is fine, but not crying out of, hey, oh, I lost my this, or I lost my job, or I lost my finances, or I lost my some dear one, and not crying. Crying out of humility and helplessness and service and but not out of that's not out of like any negative emotion. So Krishna is saying, please come, don't come grudgingly, come smilingly, come happily, with smiles, right? With fresh smiles, innocent smiles, and come, each of you come, get your vasamsa, that means your respective clothes, and then I'll give it to you. You are my servant, that's what you said, and you will do what I said, and then do it. Pretty straightforward. Krishna caught that word dasya very quickly, right? That's what Gopi said. Oh, we are your servants, and okay, bhavato yadi me dasyo. If you are my servant, then do. It's easy, In Iskcon, it's we catch the lingo very fast. Oh, Prabhu, I'm your servant. Oh, Mataji, I'm your servant. You're not just servant. I'm the servant of your servant. But hey, can you do this for me? No, no, I have this meeting and that, I'm busy, I have so many things to do. Sorry, I can't do that. Oh, but I'm your eternal servant. Right? I'm the servant of your servant, but to do something, no, no, I'm very busy, or I have so many things to take care of. Same with Guru. Right? So Krishna is actually like, this is to us. We all say, oh, we are Krishna Das, we are Shubha Vilas Govind Das, Ramakrishna Das, so and so Das, or so and so Dasi. If you are really Das, if you are really a Dasi, right? Bhavato, we can put this, put our name, Bhavato Yadi Me Dasyo. We can address this as Krishna is telling us. Bhavato Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, direct Krishna is speaking. Shukdev Goswami is not using Govinda, not using any other nicknames. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, as Vedvyas used in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavad-Gita, emphasizing that this is no other person but the Supreme Personality of Godhead telling this verse, that he is not saying this for his desires, but this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Bhagavad Gita, everywhere, wherever Krishna speaks, it said Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. That's what is used here. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Lord Krishna, the Supreme, the one who has all the opulences, Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Shriya Jnana Vairagyasya Eva Shannam Bhagaitigana. He's all the possessor of all the opulences, is speaking that verse. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So, O Shubbilas Govindas, O so and so Dasi, O so and so Das, Bhavato Yadi Me Dasyo. If you are my servant, you got this name, right? Then why don't you do what I say? Really something thoughtful, right? We say we are Krishna's servant, or we're trying to be Krishna's servant, but are we really doing what Krishna is telling us to do? It's not just for the gopis. Are we doing Maya Uktam Va Karishyatha? Then we must do what Krishna is telling us to do. Then we must do what Srila Prabhupada is telling us to do. Then we must do what the great acharyas are telling us to do. We must do what Bhagavad Gita is telling us, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is telling us to do, what senior Vaishnavas are telling us to do. Then we are actually whatever Das and Dasi. Correct? If we really want to fulfill the name Das, Dasi, Krishna's servant, Krishna's servant of the servant, then we must be ready to execute what Krishna wants us to do without any reservations. Without any reservations. Very, very important. In this case, that we will see maybe tomorrow, very, very interesting point which I heard, and I don't want to cover that in a hurry. The main lesson from this pastime is that Krishna wants to uproot all the reservations. And Krishna wants gopis full surrender without any reservation. But that full surrender sometimes is not possible by the endeavor of just the devotee. To have that full surrender, Krishna has to intervene. Sometimes directly, sometimes through other agents like Guru, Vaishnavas, books, etc. So we'll talk a little more about it tomorrow, but I really like this point. Krishna wants full surrender because he wants to give himself completely to us when we are ready to give ourselves completely to him. But although I say I am a Das or a Dasi of Krishna, but I have a lot of reservations. And even if I want or have a desire, but still I have my reservations or my conditioning is so deep-rooted, I'm not able to do, even if I have a theoretical desire. So we'll elaborate a little bit more on that, but very, very beautiful. Maybe we should meditate upon this tonight and tomorrow. Bhavato yadi me dasyo. If you are my servant, Bhavato yadi me dasyo, maya uktam va karishyata. Right, not very hard to remember. At least you can remember the first line or try to remember. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Very straightforward. Bhavato yadi me dasya. If you are my servant, we can always tell ourselves this line. Bhavato yadi, if you are my servant, then please execute. Maya uktam va karishyata. If I am speaking something, you must execute it. This is Krishna is telling us, right? Bhavato yadi me dasyo. If you are my servant, we say we are das, right? We are also like the Gopangana. We are saying, right? We say, is it not? We say, oh, I am Shubhavilas Govindas. I'm aspiring to be Krishna's servant. I'm aspiring to be a Vaishnava. That's what we say, correct? Or we should say at least. We're not declaring we're pure devotees, but we're aspiring to be sadhakas, aspiring to be Krishna's servant. Then Krishna is saying, if you are really saying that you are my das or aspiring to be das, then you must execute maya uktam va karishyata. We must try to execute what Krishna wants us to execute. I'll pause there. Any thoughts, comments, questions, additions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Am I correct in thinking that Krishna is speaking to us, like you said, through Prabhupada's books and through senior Vaishnavas, and so then all we have to do is just, obviously Krishna is not directly like in a tree talking to us, we're not so lucky, but we have the books of Prabhupada and senior Vaishnavas. Is this correct?
108% correct. Prabhupada says that.
Oh, and we have the beads. Yes, very 108%. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Prabhupada mentions that in the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam. One can derive the same benefit what Arjuna got in the battlefield of Kurukshetra when Krishna was his chariot driver. One can get the same benefit by reading Bhagavad Gita or by taking shelter of a bona fide guru, and provided we are following sincerely, or taking shelter of a Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, the holy name, the books. Absolutely. These are non-different from Krishna. By Bhagavatam, non-different from Krishna. Holy name, non-different from Krishna. So absolutely, each and every purport verse here, actually, we should always think Krishna and Prabhupada are telling this to us. This is like given direct, but every verse we should think that Prabhupada is written for us to execute and follow in our lives. Every purport. So, yes, absolutely. Any more thoughts, additions, questions?
Only one line, Prabhuji. Very nice explanation. Very beautiful explanation. Thank you.
All glories to Śrī Prabhupada. This is the Bhagavatam, somehow Krishna helps us to, read and understand and apply. If we try to go deeper. And of course, whatever I'm saying is for my own humble self. Easier said than done. And it is a journey. The more we take this message, the more we will be able to apply. First we read, hear, understand, apply, and then share also. Thank you, Prabhu. Anything else before we wrap up for today? Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveti Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, thank you so much. Happy birthday.
Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Bol. Thank you, Arun Prabhu, for joining. All is well at your end?
हाँ हरे हाँ प्रभु जी सब अच्छे हैं हाल ही दिन
बहुत अच्छे प्रोग्राम्स कर रहे हैं आप माता जी
हाँ प्रभु जी अब वापस थोड़ा रुक गया वापस चालू करेंगे
बहुत अच्छा मुझे फोटोज भेजते रहिएगा I really like when you share those bhakti programs you're doing, and thank you. This is great service to Prabhupada. हरि बोल। क्या नाम है बाबू?
क्या नाम बेटा आपका? द्रांश। दीपू नाम बताओ।
बहुत अच्छा है। बुक पढ़ते हो कृष्णा वाली?
हेलो हेलो। हाँ मुझे
कोई नहीं, बस मैं ऐसे ही बात कर रहा था। थैंक यू, अच्छा लगा आप सबको देखकर। थैंक यू प्रभु। टेक केयर।